People have asked, what is video on demand? Well, you are about to find out. Speaking to David Selvin, the man. Thank you for joining us and welcome to the show, Mr. Selvin.
Thank you very much. I'm delighted to be here.
I am excited and proud to have a man of your accomplishments sitting beside me and speaking about this world-changing, innovative way of reaching out, reaching content online. Can you please tell us a brief on who is David Selvin? What is your background in the media? Because I hear it's quite intense and you've pretty much gone the full swing. You've done quite a bit. And how did you get into video on demand? And what is and who is ONTAP TV?
So it's right to say I have a broad background in media. I'm one of the founding individuals of Kaya FM, and I've been involved in numbers of radio stations. I've also been a film producer. I've worked in London extensively. I've lived in Los Angeles, and I've produced feature films for the world market. And now I'm the general manager of ONTAPtv.com, and that's the subject of our interview, and I appreciate your asking me, and I'm going to try and do justice to your questions and explain exactly what this is. And I'll say, if I may, in advance, that it was a very conscious decision for me to move into VOD, video on demand. I'm of the view that this really is not just the present, but this is the future. I think the world has already shown us it's the future, and in South Africa it's the present and the future. So video on demand. This is a platform that is owned by a very substantial Hong Kong company called PCCW Global, and it's an international telecommunications company, and it initiated our platform ONTAPtv.com about 6 months ago. So you asked the question, what is VOD? This is a way in which we access films and television series on an internet platform. So you subscribe to it. In our case, you will pay 89 rands to come onto the platform. And for that amount of money, you're entitled to watch anything that we have on the platform. So we have hundreds and hundreds, thousands of films, television series. And if you're a subscriber, you have the right to watch whatever we show at any time that you like, however you like, at your decision. I'd like to say something a little bit more though about that. So there are two kinds of ways in which you can watch films or television series on our platform. The one is streaming. So for streaming, the film, let's take that as an example and not continue to just say film or TV series. You watch the film and it streams on the internet, so you don't download it in streaming onto your device. You watch it on a device, a smartphone, an iPad, whatever your device happens to be, but it's not stored on your device. It's streamed, and so once you've finished watching it, it's gone. It doesn't actually ever get housed on your device. And that's a way in which a lot of VOD companies work. So let's just take the most famous in the world, Netflix. That's the way Netflix works. You stream something, you watch it, that's the end of it. Here's the downside to that. In order to be on the internet, it costs you data. So all very well to pay us 89 rands for our subscription. That's extremely cheap. I want to tell you, just by way of comparison, how cheap.
Aha! The question everybody's probably asking, how cheap?
Well, by way of example, suppose that you and I were to go to the cinema. We would be paying 80 rands a ticket, 160 rands between us. And then popcorn and sweets, we're 350 rands into the price of going to see one film. On our service, for 89 rands, you get to have all these films and television series to watch as many times as you like, whenever you like, for a month. You can also download blockbusters. So you can rent a particular film and watch that. And the price for that is 15 rands to 25 rands, depending upon the film. So 25 rands is the maximum you would pay to watch a single solitary picture. And you can watch it whenever you like and whenever you like. But here's the extra thing that's important. Data costs money. So for you or I to be on the internet, to download something or to stream something, costs money. If you're streaming, you're always paying for the data. But if you can download it, you don't necessarily have to pay. Suppose you're in a free Wi-Fi hotspot. You're in a store. You're at a retail operator. You can simply download the film that you would like to see and watch it later, of somebody else's dime, so to speak. It doesn't cost you anything, and that's really what's expected by a hotspot. It allows you to download whatever you might like to download, and that distinguishes us from very many other forms of VOD subs.
Okay, just a little bit back on the options that you've got. You've got the rental option and the download option, and of course the streaming option that you started with. Now I'm quite interested, I'm still held at the rental bit of it. So if you rent it, you have how many days in which to watch this film? And if you rent it, how do you know that? I mean, it's kind of almost sounding like downloading, because if you rent it, how do you know that as a company that I'm going to send it back to you? Because renting is you have to send it back.
You used to have to send it back, but not in electronic medium. You have it for 48 hours and then it automatically stops. You don't do anything at all. You have it for 48 hours, you're authorized to have it for 48 hours, and after 48 hours, that's it, it's off. So when
you got to be honest.
Well, no, so that you subscribe, and it's embedded within the film itself, that when you subscribe, when you pay for it, it'll last for 48 hours if it's a single film. But if I may say, downloading applies both to single films and the subscription service. So in the subscription service, you can stream or you can download. So over that month, you may say, I want to see 4 films, and you know that you want to see them in your own time, but that's not now. Or you may say, I'm at a place where there's free Wi-Fi, so I'll download these 4 films now, and then at home later on, with my family, with my friends, or by myself, I'll watch this in the privacy of my own home. And you've downloaded it, so you have it on your device, whatever that device is.
Sorry. So the next question I think everybody else might be asking there is, how accessible, how easily accessible is VOD on ONTAP TV, and do you have an app that somebody can use, and is it friendly with all phones? What are the limitations and what are the different modes of accessing this lovely product?
That's a smart question, if I may say so. You can have it on any phone or any device. So you can have it on Android, so Samsung phones. You can have it on iOS, so Apple phones or devices. Doesn't matter. And you can access it through our app, and that indeed is how you access it. So you download the app onto your telephone, and then you proceed from there. And it's very straightforward. It's like any app. You open it, and you proceed.
89 Rand, certainly affordable for even anybody, pretty much. I think your price was very well investigated or researched, and I think it's definitely something that even a person in a rural area who would like to enjoy what people enjoy in urban areas can certainly do so, provided they're in an area that is friendly, internet friendly, and they have the right device.
That's right. So you hit the nail on the head. It's utterly mobile. Doesn't matter where you are. What's very particular, though, if I may say this, about all forms of media, it's about what you want to see. So ultimately it's about the content. And in our case, we have 2 distinct kinds of content, broadly. So what we have is Hollywood blockbusters, pictures you'll be used to seeing at the cinema and you'll be familiar with, and series in similar vein. But we also focus on distinct packages. So we've got a focus on South African product, which you can get through our mega pack, and so see local films. But we also have packages that are designed for particular audiences. So we've got an Indian package, by way of example. If you want to access that, you'd pay 69 rands, and you'd have access to all the films that we have on our Indian package. So that would operate in a similar vein to that on which the Mega Pack works. You pay a subscription for a month, watch any number of those films whenever you want to, howsoever you want to, at your own leisure. And they're terrific films to see.
Tell us about your Indian package.
So we've got a really great Indian package. It consists of so far 60 movies, so those are features. And it's basically Bollywood blockbusters. It's your big titles, it's your Seven Kun Maaf, Khoobsurat, Race, and it features Bollywood's biggest stars. So Kareena Kapoor, Saif Ali Khan, and the great thing about our Indian package is that it's affordable in comparison to buying DVDs. We've got 60 titles, and at 68 rand it works out to just under $2 a title, so that makes us really cost effective, and the quality of those titles are incredible.
Your package obviously works in the same method as what we had heard, that you can rent and you can stream and you can also download.
So the Indian package works more in a subscription video on demand model, in that you would subscribe to 68 rand a month, and once you subscribe after paying 68 rand a month, you would have access to those 60 titles, and you have the ability to download or stream them as many times as you want. So it's not really rental more than it is subscription.
Have you had any problems with piracy, and what do you have to say about piracy to those who subscribe to piracy and to those who perpetuate piracy?
I've had many personal experiences with pirated DVDs, and coming from the Indian community, we know that piracy is kind of rife. And if you really want a Bollywood blockbuster, you wouldn't get it on a video on demand service. You'd have to pirate it off the streets, and you'd pay something like, I think it's $20 a DVD, but for most of the movie you'd just be watching the back of somebody's head, or people just running up and down in the cinema. So why would you compromise on the quality of, you're paying for that, and you should certainly get quality for your money. And I think that's where we really step in, because the quality of our films are incredible. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us on the show today.
It's been an absolute pleasure, and I very much appreciate your having me. Thank you very much.
Thank you. That was David Sullivan, the General Manager in South Africa for VOD, ONTAP TV Video On Demand. And from me, Cassia Kulu, it's goodbye. Bye.
And from me, David Sullivan, goodbye.
Bye.